Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video. August 4th, 2023. I just got back from the movies. My favorite place to be. Um, and of course, you know what I saw. I just got back from seeing Barbie 2023, based off of the very popular Mattel toy line of the same name, of course. Yeah, this is a movie that's been blowing up lately. I finally got to see it today. Tomorrow, though, I should be seeing Oppenheimer finally, and you know I'm gonna be so excited for that. Just to talk about Oppenheimer for a little bit, I haven't seen it yet, of course, but you know, Christopher Nolan's my favorite director of all time, so I'm obviously excited beyond words for that. I was gonna see both today, but I felt like maybe because the next screening for Oppenheimer in IMAX, because you know I gotta see it in IMAX, is like 2 hours from now. That's way too long after, when Barbie finished for me at the screening I went to. So I was like, we're better off waiting until tomorrow to see that. And yeah, now I think about it, that sounds about right. I'm so excited for that. And I know, like, I give Christopher Nolan so many 10 out of 10s for his movies. But, like, when I see it tomorrow, I hope to remind myself, maybe you guys tonight, when you watch this review, maybe remind me to like, be honest about how I feel about Oppenheimer. If I end up thinking it's like a 7 out of 10, then to give it a 7 out of 10. Not just give it 10 out of 10 just because Nolan. Although every single Christopher Nolan movie since 2005, Batman Begins, all 10s. I love Christopher Nolan that much. Barbie, Barbenheimer. I'm on the Barbenheimer train. Bye-bye. And, yeah, super excited for that. But we're talking about Barbie today. Greta Gerwig. I haven't seen Little Women. I haven't seen her first film from, I think, 2012. I don't remember what it was called. But I have seen Lady Bird. I love that movie so much. That is a 10 out of 10 movie in my opinion. And Barbie. Wow, this too, I absolutely loved. Okay, I was very excited for this movie, because like pink, I love the color pink. All right, pink is my favorite color. I don't have any pink clothes, unfortunately. It was only quite recently, actually, that I finally realized pink was my favorite color. Yeah, I don't have any pink clothes. I didn't see anyone. There weren't many people, though, in the cinema with me watching it. I didn't see anyone with pink clothes. So, yeah, so I'm glad I didn't, like, have to worry or feel bad about that or anything. But, Barbie, of course, stars Margot Robbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, also starring Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu, Kate McKinnon, America Ferrera, Will Ferrell, and my man John Cena, who, when I heard was in this movie, I freaking lost it. And that is common knowledge, by the way, that he is in the movie. That's not really a spoiler. Although, if I didn't know he was in it, and it wasn't, like, put out there that he's in it, I would have been like, oh, what? That probably would have taken me off guard. Because if you guys know me, I'm, like, the biggest John Cena fan. Him and Christopher Nolan are my two, like, heroes, you know? But he's only in this for, like, 15 seconds at the most. It really is a quick blink and you'll miss it cameo. But it was still cool as heck to see him in it. Yeah, I loved seeing that. Yeah, a very fun movie. It was so much fun, especially when we're in Barbie Land at the beginning. I mean, even throughout the whole thing, most of this movie is in Barbie Land. There's maybe like 15 minutes total, I feel like, that we actually spend in the real world. But don't get me wrong, both worlds are, like, connected, like, very closely to each other. Like, whatever happens in Barbie world does cross over into the real world, you know? Like, I don't want to say too much, I don't think I'll be saying spoilers, but this is, not only is it so much fun, the characters are entertaining as heck, especially the Barbies and the Kens. Michael Cera's in this movie. I was not looking forward to him at all in this movie, but man, he was actually very entertaining. And yeah, I did hear that this actually did have like history lessons about Barbie, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't know about Barbie. I mean, I say that as if I'm like a Barbie expert. I'm the furthest thing from a Barbie expert. Not that I haven't like played with Barbies before. Like, I went to cousins' houses, saw they had Barbies, of course, and of course I kind of played around with them. Heck, I actually did get, get one of my little cousins a Ken doll for Christmas. I think it was last year. And I remember she put on her Christmas list Barbie boy, and I literally wrote like on the gift card thing, his name is Ken. Even I know that about Barbie, But yeah, this movie was so much fun, and the Barbie, and there actually are more than one. There actually is more than one Stanley Kubrick movie reference in this. Like, obviously, if you saw the first trailer, it was like the 2001 A Space Odyssey thing when Barbie was first created. That was so cool. And there's another reference to Stanley Kubrick, a Stanley Kubrick movie, or technically the book. I don't know. I know there's a whole bunch of differences between the book and the movie, and I know that that Stephen King hates The Shining. In fact, did I say spoilers by just mentioning that there is a reference to The Shining? Yeah, I forgot not to say that explicitly. Sorry about that. But the characters are great. Even, oh man, Will Ferrell in this movie was crack up, man. He he was so crack up. Margot Robbie, perfectly cast as Barbie. You literally could not have cast someone better to play the role of Barbie, man. And Ken, Ryan Gosling. I mean, there's heaps of Kens in this movie. There's heaps of Barbies in this movie. But obviously, the main, stereotypical Barbie, Margot Robbie. And they don't explicitly say it, but I guess stereotypical Ken, ? For Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling steals the show in this movie. He is so funny and entertaining. And watching him discover, that, how men are in the real world is just gold. It is so fun and funny to watch, man. I absolutely love it, man. Love his character. What you would expect him to be. Ryan Gosling can just do it all, can't he? Like, for real. He really can. But one thing that I was quite worried about going to this movie, I mean, is worry the real word to say? Because in a way, if you hear about something that sounds like you're not going to like it in a movie you're looking forward to, I was kind of like, oh, but I'm still looking forward to it anyway. I did hear that this movie was heavy on like super feminist stuff, and I don't like feminist stuff. I don't like feminism, at least modern feminism, or even feminism like a decade ago. Alright, just being real there. So when I heard that this movie had feminist stuff in it, I was like, oh, why? But then I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm still excited to watch this movie anyway. And I did go to watch it, and I loved it. I really did. Even like the feminist stuff, I understand if hearing about that, if you were looking forward to it, like if you're a man or men's rights advocate, like you hear about that there is feminist stuff in this movie, please don't be alarmed. It is not like the awful way that modern feminism is at all. It does seem to actually be what they always said feminism was supposed to be about. Equality. That's what I got from this. You know, it was about equality. You know, it doesn't like, you know, it really doesn't like, it's not like men are the worst things ever. Men are the worst men. Everything is men's fault. It's nothing like that. I promise. Okay. In fact, it really was like about equality, and I'm trying not to spoil too much because I did just mention this to my mom just now when I got home, and she was like, "Oh, try not to say too much spoiler stuff because I have a lot to unload from my mind." But equality did seem to be the true message of this. You know, it's not like putting, it really isn't putting anyone down. You know, in fact, I actually got quite emotional near the end about that stuff. It was good stuff. So if you're worried about it being ultra men hating feminism, I promise you, it is not that whatsoever. I know there's a lot of people that took it that way, and I don't know. I can't convince you otherwise. But I really did resonate with, you know, that meaning a lot. More than I thought I would. And I actually really respected and appreciated the way that part of the movie was in this movie. You know? I did see it in VMAX, which is kind of like a little brother of IMAX, and I did have a recliner seat, you know, which was so awesome, man. It did take me a while to figure out how to, you know, get the recliner part out. I had no idea how to do it. I wanted to ask this group of two girls behind me, because everyone else had theirs up, but I was just too shy to ask for help. I was saying to myself in my head, just ask your mother effer, otherwise, you know. But eventually I figured it out. For my future self, if you ever find yourself watching a movie in VMAX again, it's the button. It's like a flashy button control panel on the inside of the chair. You know, right next to your thighs. You know, go to the arrows on that. For my future self, if he has trouble with the recliner again, if he doesn't remember. I had my feet out and everything. It was so comfortable. It was such a luxurious way to watch this movie. And, I did love Barbie. I would give it 10 out of 10. Why not? I give it 10 out of 10. And man, Will Ferrell was crack up in this. Ryan Gosling was awesome in this too. What else do I need to say? Trying to think. But yeah. Yeah. So 10 out of 10 for Barbie. I would call it my second best movie of the year so far. Number one for me is still Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Love that to death. That's probably still my favorite movie of the year so far. But I'm 100% certain that tomorrow, very likely to be topped by Oppenheimer. So excited for that, man. Holy crap. But Barbie, fantastic movie. So much fun. Great messages of equality, you know. I do think everyone should watch it. I do think men should watch it too. And funny thing, my Uncle Poppy, when I told him I wanted to see the Barbie movie today, he was like, what the heck? And then, I love my Uncle Poppy, by the way. to death. And even when we were leaving the cinema, because he just dropped me off. He paid for the movie for me because he's the man, he's the best. And he bought me popcorn and drink. And then he picked me up like when the movie was finished, of course. And then he said to me, he asked me, "Were there any other men in there?" And I said, "Yeah, actually." And I pointed because literally right in front of us was the one other guy that I saw in the cinema with us. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, that guy right there, he was in there with me too." Yeah, so, but he was with who I assume was his girlfriend, who's to say he didn't actually want to see it, and, funny thing, and there weren't too many, there were very few people in the cinema with me as well, actually, and I heard this lady, like, to my left, and not directly to my left, she was, like, behind me, I think, but, like, much further to, I don't know how to say it exactly, but I heard her fall asleep, I heard her snoring, and then she woke up, like, 2 seconds later, woke up laughing, and the girls behind me in the cinema, I heard one of them say, "That wasn't as good as I thought it'd be." I think specifically she did just say, "That wasn't as good as I thought," But, yeah. I loved Barbie, 10 out of 10. My second best movie of the year so far. Number 1 still Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. And, yeah. I'm your boy, Mark. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you later. Peace out. What'd you think of Barbie, y'all? And have a good one, yeah.